Hello everybody, I'm JackieKCooper, and for today's video I'm going to tell you a story. And that's because y'all have been writing in saying, tell us about growing up, tell us what your favorite movie was, tell us what the first movie was you ever saw. I'm getting all these requests, so I thought, now that we don't have that many movies to review, I would just take a video and tell you about the first movie that I remember ever seeing. And it's kind of a different type of story. I grew up in Clinton, South Carolina. I was born in 1941, so you can figure out, yep, I'm 79 years old. And my mother was from Gadsden, Alabama. That's where my relatives on my mother's side of the family lived. And one summer, when I was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, we went to Gadsden, and my brother, who's 3.5 years older, he and one of my older cousins wanted to go to the movies, and so somebody took them downtown Gadsden to the movie theater and dropped them off, and they went to see a movie. And then it came time to pick them up, and my Uncle Jerry, my mother's brother, said he would go down and pick them up, and he asked me, he said, do you want to come along for the ride? And of course, yeah, glad to. And so they had gone to, the movie was at 5 o'clock, it was probably 7 o'clock, and it was getting dark. And we went into the theater, the movie was still going on, and it was a long aisle with, the seats on either side. And so my Uncle Jerry told me, he said, you stand here at the top of the aisle, don't go anywhere. I'm just going to walk down and see if I see him and let them know that we're here. And so he went down the aisle. And when he did, I looked up at the screen. And this is, I don't remember what the movie was, but a gorilla came up on that screen. A gorilla. I mean, that's all it took. I saw the gorilla. I turned around, I went running out of the theater and running down the street. Just taking off. And I should mention, at this time, before I got into kindergarten or first grade, I was tongue-tied. Nobody could understand me except my brother. He had to translate. I just couldn't talk plain. I don't know what it was because I outgrew it, but nobody could understand what I was saying. So here I am running down the street, and somebody, I don't remember this, but I was told this, somebody stopped, said, where are your parents? Here I am, a small child out on the street. I'm trying to communicate, something. They couldn't understand a thing. They called the police. Police take me to the police station. My uncle has to tell my mother that he's lost Jackie, that Jackie is somewhere in Gadsden. And, they immediately, start, people in the family go trying to look downtown. My mother and father called the police, and the police eventually called them back and say, we've got a little boy here. We can't determine what his name is. And they pretty much said, that's him. And so they go down to the police station where I'm sitting. I didn't like milk, chocolate milk, regular milk, so I didn't want water. So I had a Coke and a pack of cheese crackers they had found, peanut butter, and my family came in, and everybody was reunited, and eventually my mother forgave my uncle. But that was the first movie that I remember going to. Now, you would think that might have scarred me, that I would have said, I am never going to another movie. Nope. Right after that, my mother, started taking me to the movies with her. I guess if I was old enough to survive that trauma, or maybe she just wanted to keep an eye on me and she didn't want to trust me with anybody watching me, but she would take me to the movies with her. And I just, again, wasn't traumatized. I just loved movies from that point on, early age. And I have to say, too, that from that time, I have loved Coca-Colas and cheese, crackers with peanut butter. I eat them every day. It's one of my staple foods, and it's one of the things that I enjoy the most. So you wanted to know about my first movie, that gorilla movie. It wasn't King Kong, but for some reason it had a gorilla in it. That's the first movie that I remember seeing, and that was also a story that turned out good, but could have been a real tragedy, I guess, that movies could have done me in. You know, I could have run out and been lost forever, or worse. So you've been asking me for stories, and I'm going to start telling you more of these. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you a little insight into who I am and why I am who I am. So for today, this has been Jackie K. Cooper.